It's our job to hold our elected officials accountable for what they say and also for what they do. So let's look at what they did that day. They voted unanimously to start a process aimed at seeking a developer to plan and create and lease/manage/own some components of a mixed-use development/transit center on the site. Now, many of us know that we need to keep our eyes wide open when we hear that it's time to act to realize our exciting potentials for development to enhance the economic vitality of downtown. Some of us know that we need to ask what the costs are going to be and to whom. So the city is asking what we want to see on the Ronstadt Center site, and that's a good thing. They should be asking us. But we also want to ask ourselves and this community, is it time for that step of seeking a qualified development team, following up with proposals? Are we ready to talk about selling the city property? Or is it time for a community conversation about what the Ronstadt Center means for the downtown, what it means for public transit, and what it means for bus riders?
The problem is, and this is very unpolitically correct, but I really honestly believe after riding the bus for 2 years that people in the businesses, merchants downtown, and people who are developers and even the city council to a certain extent, don't throw anything at me, I think that a lot of times they just don't believe that people who ride the bus, and many of them tend to be poor, I believe they don't think that poor people have an opinion. And I don't think they think that that opinion matters. And I think we need to really change that. I know that the center, that it was voted that the center will stay where it is and stuff, but as the other speakers said, when they start talking about making it mixed use and things like that, as a former journalist, my hackles go up because I know that that means that they really don't mean what they say when they say that they're going to leave it alone. So I think that the problem is that merchants believe that they don't like the look of the transit center, or rather they don't like the look of the people who use the transit center, and that transit centers draw, and they do, this is true, sometimes they do draw the mentally ill, the homeless, the addicted, the poor. That happens. But if we move the center, a transit center outside of the center of downtown, what we do is we remove from our front and center vision problems that need a solution.
Go ahead. Okay, I'm Billy Lolis. I'm an occupier. I'm listening to these ideas about a multi-use facility. Well, they want to set up businesses, consumerism, and the businesses aren't going to like the people that are poor, that are addicted, that are homeless, that are riding the bus. You can't serve two gods. We got this consumer-based, debt-driven economy which fails most of us. We need a resource-based, community-driven economy, and what will drive the community? The buses. It is a bus depot. Once you try to serve two gods, the capitalists, the businessmen are going to try and squeeze the bus riders out. Leave it alone. It serves its purpose quite well. Thank you.
That they're responding to a group called the Downtown Partnership, who said, what we think is that Ronstadt Transit Center is really a nice piece of real estate and we can make money from it. So what you need to do is to come up with requirements for a developer to own this city property. That's the wrong direction and the wrong answer. The city has extensively studied it. They're incredible ideas. You're hearing some for what can be done. This suggestion came from the partnership, which is run by developers who have no ideas, who have done no study. Their only solution is to what city property can be sold and sell it now. This suggestion now, they said it was based on study. It's not true. I asked them, in a letter, give me your studies. Well, we haven't done a study. The same thing in 2009, 4 years ago, they told the city, hey, you need to sell the front part of this transit center at 41% of the transit center and do it now. They made 6 recommendations for selling city property downtown. The question I asked them, what was that based on? Same answer, nothing. There's no studies that are based on it. What has to be done with city property is that it has to be looked at from the benefit of the city, the benefit of the owners, the riders, what's best for downtown, not what's best for the developers.
The city of Tucson is going over their budget right now. They've got a shortfall and they can't pay their city employees. And we know that people are working harder for less these days. What if we were to give every city of Tucson employee a free bus pass? Let's pass the buses. Let's make them a public, useful utility and get our money's worth out of them. They're already running. It wouldn't cost the city that much money. It would cut down on pollution. It would ease traffic congestion downtown. It would solve downtown parking. It would reward our workers. U of A could do this. Raytheon could do this. Davis-Monthan could do this. Let's get people out of single occupancy vehicles.
I live downtown, and so I am watching what's happening downtown. And I would like to see a bus center and a bus line that Tucson is proud of. I would like to see Tucson act like it is a point of pride to have public facilities, public transportation. This is crap about we're going to hide our bus station somewhere where no one can see it. This is for us. This is our transportation. So given that, okay, so people here have referred to the fact that lots of poor people ride the buses. Well, if things work out the way the city says they should work out, there are going to be poor people and college students. We're going to have a real mixed group of people, and we're going to have a real meeting place, which is something that Tucson doesn't have very many of. So what do you do in a meeting place? Well, you could have a lending library where you bring a book, you leave a book. You could have outreach facilities. The city, when it needs to get input on various ideas, it could have a booth there. You could act like this is a public benefit.
I serve on the city council and have been a transit advocate since joining the council in 2005. And what I tell people is it's probably the best dollar we can spend in our entire budget. Not only because it provides affordable transportation, but it does reduce congestion, it improves our air quality, and SunTran is now rated number 4 in the country for connecting people to jobs. We have a great transit system, and it is something we need to be proud of. What I'm hearing people say is to keep making those points and to fight hard to preserve this important site and our transit system, and you have an ally in me for that.
When I was first elected in 2007 with the help of many of you guys here, one of the things that I talked about was that we had to have, as the downtown was being talked about, that we had to have a downtown for all of us. That it had to be seniors, and that there had to be affordability, that they had to be mixed uses, that we had to make sure that it was maintained for all of us. Now, keeping the Ronstadt downtown, frankly, has been a fight and a struggle since I got elected back in 2007, because there's been influences that want Ronstadt from out of downtown. And both Councilmember Uhlich and some of the council members now that have been on the city council, myself, have fought diligently to make sure that the Ronstadt stays here, and that we not only keep it downtown, but we add to it, and we improve it, and we make it better.
That's it.
And number one, and I mean no disrespect in any way about this, but I think it's really good that the new Pope rides the bus. You know? Strange as that might be, it's good to hear about that. It's good to hear that. Because it's important to have good role models like that, I think, you know? Next thing. When you think about civil rights here in this country, you recognize that public transportation is a place where a lot of gains were made by all of us in our community.
Yeah.
The Montgomery bus boycott was real.
Yeah, man. That's right.
This is not of the same magnitude, but I assure you it's about the same subject, and justice will prevail, because that is important and your voices have to be heard.
Woo!
I'm old enough to remember downtown Tucson when it was alive. And everybody likes to talk about the old days and how beautiful it was, and their favorite store, their favorite boutique that they went to, or all of that stuff. But the reason I remember downtown being great and walking around as a little kid is because everybody was there. It was all mixed up, and we were all here, and we were all together. Downtown needs to be that again. This is nobody's turf. This is our turf. This is our place. This is our transportation. This is our world. We need to be able to influence it. Thank you. And never let yourself be disenfranchised from this discussion. We have to maintain our place at the table. Thank you.
And yeah, I would like to see those bathrooms with the pull-down things for children to change tables, toilet paper. I mean, everywhere else you have nice facilities. Make it more like a mall in the sense that you have people that can guide you and say, oh, if you take this turquoise trail this way, this happens. And, you know, be more of a community facility and make it beautiful with a little park area for the kids to play. There's so much we could do. And
more public facilities for people to use. Not retail outlets, not stores. We don't need a shopping mall over the Ronstadt. We need more public places for all of us, for the youth, for people to feel safe at. Community gardens, bath shells, anywhere that bring the community together, not split us apart. And that's what we need.
I want to address the sustainability issue of moving the bus station. Right now, I think the Ronstadt Center is in a perfect location. Once the modern streetcar is in, you have the streetcar, you have the bus lane. The city is paving the way for all these maxi dorms to be built downtown. They're saying, what people like me say, what about all the traffic congestion? And the city says, oh, we're going to discourage them from having cars. Well, we're going to discourage them from having cars. You're putting thousands of people downtown. You're going to take away the bus station. It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. We're going to take the bus downtown if we wanted to go out for a drink. Or we'll ride our bikes to downtown and take the bus home or something like that. It's like, that's what we should be fostering. We shouldn't make that more difficult, And so I think we have to look at sustainability. I think Congress should be a pedestrian mall with buses, bicycles, and the modern streetcar, and that's it.